Hello, everyone. The topic of the week is what I'm calling should leadership advice. You should do it this way. You should do it that way. This way it worked for me, or in my experience, this is what I've seen. So you should be doing it like this. Should leadership and career advice. And so what I want to talk about is what I mean, why this is destroying your tech career, and also how to fix it, how to be more mindful about kind of filtering out the terrible should advice that you're getting and really be able to zero in on what the good advice is going to be and how to trust when that advice is good advice, even great advice and excellent advice. So you should do it this way. I think we've all, at least once, probably more than that, in our lives, have had someone tell us you should do it this way. And this definitely applies to our careers and how we approach leadership. I definitely experienced it when I was growing my business, even to the extreme of, I don't know, Jen, I don't know if you should build a business. It's too risky. I don't know if you should do this. I don't think that tech managers are really gonna, it's the message that you're sending is gonna resonate with them. I don't think you should do it. You should try it this way instead. And if I had listened to any of that advice, I would not be here now. And we would not be so grateful to be able to give this help and to be able to see the amazing transformations that we've helped our clients to achieve. So it's a little bit of a word to the wise. When somebody tells you that you should do something, take it with a grain of salt. One of the best pieces of advice that I received as I was starting my own business was, whenever someone gives you unsolicited advice, don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. Like, be nice, right? Be nice, be kind to them, be compassionate, show thank you, like have gratitude for it, right? But you don't have to take it. And usually if you take unsolicited advice, at the best, it's going to lead you a bit astray and get you a bit astray. And it's going to lead you to, making some mistakes that perhaps you wouldn't have, and it's going to take you longer to reach your goals than if you didn't take it. I mean, and at the worst, if you take someone's unsolicited advice, it's going to completely lead you even more astray and off the path, and lead to even more negative consequences and more frustration. And there's going to be even a bigger cost because you're going to be even more distracted. So you should do it this way. Here's some examples that I've heard, and some of the examples that our clients have shared. Because a lot of the questions that our clients ask us, sometimes they fall along the lines of, one of my friends said that I should do this, or one of my family members, or I heard, or I talked to someone on, this leadership support group, or whatever it might be. I went to a meetup and somebody told me that I should do this. So it could be things like, you should act more aggressively. We had a client one time where somebody basically told her that, like a friend of hers, right? So she was angling to earn a promotion, and a friend of hers basically told her, you're not acting aggressively enough. You got to be more assertive. You got to just get out there and ask. And the problem with that kind of advice in this particular circumstance was that in this particular circumstance, because we knew our client's particular situation more than even her friend did, and more about her career and the actions that she's been taking and the action that she has not been taking, admittedly, acting more aggressively or acting more assertively was not the problem, right? Yes, she had what someone might call a timid personality. Some might call a timid personality, but she's assertive. She was assertively timid, in the sense that the compassion shows. She's not going to hit you over the head with a 2x4 and say, hey, give me a give me a promotion. But she's also not going to be shy and hold back from sharing sharing what it is that she wants. So that was really bad advice for her, because she was already acting in accordance with being assertive in her own way. And if she was going to go and try and act more aggressively, then it would be completely backfire, because she would be showing up as someone who she wasn't. She would be trying to be someone who she wasn't. Some other ones that we've heard were, like, for example, you should go on more interviews, like especially for people who are on the job market. Oh, you're not going on enough interviews. You really just need to go on more interviews. Go on as many interviews as you possibly can. Or sometimes it's the other way around. You need to go on fewer interviews. I went on way too many interviews and I got burnt out. And therefore, I think that maybe you should go on fewer interviews. Like, that's why you're not winning on the job market. And so you can see here how the advice is well-meaning, but it's really self-serving, right? And in both of these cases, what really is happening is let me tell you my tale of woe and the failures that I've experienced, and I'm going to tell you how to do it so that you don't experience it too. And the problem with this is if you give that advice unsolicited, even if it's solicited, without understanding the real goals, the real problem, the real obstacles in the way, all of the context, that person's personality, everything that they've done so far, if you don't take all of that person's world into account when you are attempting to help someone to move forward and get unstuck, if you simply just give that advice like, oh, this was my experience, this must have been your experience too, it's self-serving. You are being completely self-serving. So like in one person's case, it may be, yeah, I went on the job market and I got completely burnt out because I went on too many interviews. And actually at the end of the day, it turns out I didn't need to go on 50, 60, 70% of those interviews. I could have reduced my interview load significantly, and I learned from that. And then it was actually when I went on fewer interviews that it actually helped me more, and I wasn't feeling as burnt out. And then that's actually when I won and I got the job. That's what you should do too. It sounds like you're going on too many interviews. That may or may not be helpful, but the number of interviews that somebody is going on may or may not be the problem, because another person may say you need to go on more interviews. That was my problem when I was on the job market, was that I didn't go on enough interviews. I was too scared. I was too nervous. I didn't know how to prepare, and I didn't want to get burned out. I was so scared of getting interview burnout that I didn't go on enough. And I learned from that. And once I started going on more interviews, then that's when it actually ended up helping me more. And that's what you should do. You should go on more interviews. People want to help. Your friends, your colleagues, they want to help you. Like, they love you and it's coming from a place of love. But if they are not experts in coaching you through strategizing about your career, if they're not experts in really understanding and knowing how to enter your world and taking into account your personality, your context, what you've done so far that's worked, of taking a look at the data and helping you to collect that data and assess the data and assess the situation. If they are not experts in helping you how to do that, any advice that they give you is going to be bad. Any advice that they give you is going to be bad. So that's why you work with an expert. That's what Rob and I do with our clients. So if you're a client and you're listening to this, and if you're not yet, and if you're curious, what would a conversation be like with a career coach? Like, I'm curious, what is that? I don't even know. Like, that's kind of a new experience for me. A little peek into that is very often, like when a client of ours comes to us for advice, we're not just going to say, oh, here's what you should do. I know exactly what it is. Like, I could totally read your minds and I know exactly the right thing that you should do. And it's just like question, answer, done. Very often we'll get a question from a client, like, oh man, I've been on the job market for 6 months. What am I doing wrong? We're not just going to dive in and say, oh, you should go on more interviews, or, oh, you should go on fewer interviews, or, oh, are you getting the best leads? Maybe you're just interviewing for jobs that aren't good, like, I think you need to do more networking. We're going to ask more questions. When somebody asks us for advice, particularly when it's a client, but really when it's anyone, what we're going to do is we're going to listen to your question. And because we are expert coaches, and because we are experts in helping tech managers in particular, because we have so much context, we have so much experience around this area, we're able to take all of that into account. Also what we know about you. But then we're not going to assume that we know everything about you and your context as soon as you ask that question. So we're going to ask you more questions. You ask us a question, be prepared to answer at least 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 more questions until we can then help move you to, here's the best next action. Sometimes it will be us telling you, this is what we suggest that you do, and here's why it's going to be the best for you. But sometimes simply through that series of questions, you're going to have a breakthrough. And you're going to realize, oh, wow, I haven't done this yet. That's exactly what I need to do right now. And we're going to be like, yeah, that's exactly what you need to do right now. Go do it. And then we hold you accountable for it. So that's why people hire experts. That's why Rob and I are here. That's why it's a pleasure for us to create that space for transformation for people, because we're able to take into account all of that context that people who are not experts in helping tech managers to upgrade your careers, people who are not experts in that do not have that context. They do not have that information. They do not have that skill set to coach you through to make the decisions that are actually going to help you move forward. What's another you should? Oh, one of my favorites is you should just keep your head down and do more work. Again, you could see how self-serving that advice is, even if it's solicited. In other words, oh man, I've been trying to get a promotion for the last 2, 3, 5 years now, but I've just been stuck in middle management land. I've been stuck as an engineering manager, as a product manager, as a project manager. I've been trying to move forward, but I just can't. Like, what am I missing? Is there something else that I need to be doing in order to unlock that next level, to break through to that next level in my career? Like, I'm really curious because I've seen you did it. Like, let's just say you're talking to a friend, right? You did it. How did you do it? I'll tell you exactly how I did it. Like, this is your friend talking, right? Tell you exactly how I did it. I just kept my head down. I did good work. And then after 5 years, they basically just gave me a promotion. That's what you should do too. Like, you don't have to, people talk about self-promotion. It's just a bunch of BS, right? You're going to feel grimy. You're going to feel slimy. I'm making up words here today. You're going to feel slimy. You're going to feel self-centered. Don't worry about any of that self-promotion crap. No, just keep your head down, do the work. That's what worked for me. You don't have to self-promote. Yeah, that's going to backfire if you self-promote. People are just going to think that you're brown-nosing, and it's totally going to destroy all the relationships that you've created. Don't self-promote. I didn't need it. So you should just keep your head down, do the work, and you'll get the promotion. Keep at it. And yes, that story may be true. That one story, that one data point for that one person. Little did you know that what happened in that case, that maybe was that person, that friend, the boss quit, his boss quit unexpectedly, and then they needed to just battlefield promote somebody into that position, and he got it. And he's leaving out that little piece of information, right? So yes, sometimes people get battlefield promoted, where it's just like all they had to do was put their head down. They never self-promoted at all. And then somebody came to them and was like, yeah, you're manager material. Come and do it. Oh, okay, cool. Yes, that happens sometimes. But in a lot of cases, that's not going to be the best way to upgrade your career. And you're not going to know from just one data point, or even two, or even three. You want to work with an expert who has thousands of data points and hundreds of data points of people in your situation, or at least similar to it, not just one. You make a decision based on one data point, watch out. Because what's going to happen here is that, like I was talking about in the beginning, what is this going to cost you? If you follow this should advice, you should do this, you should do that. People are shoulding all over you. If you follow this should advice, then if you the way to kind of look at it is that you are on a path up a mountain, right? You are on a path toward your dream career. You're making your way up, you're making your way up, you're making your way up. Maybe it's slowly but surely, but you're trying to get there, right? Whatever your next career goal is, to land a senior manager job, to get out of your current situation and go to another job, and it includes a rung up the career ladder, right? To be a VP someday, to be a CTO someday, right? That's where you're going. You're going up this mountain. And what happens just through the normal course of being and living is we get distracted. So as we're kind of going up the mountain, we kind of like, oh, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to check this thing out. Oh, no, that's just distraction. Okay, now I'm going to go up a little bit more. I'm going to go up a little bit more. And so when we have these things, you should do this, you should do this. Oh, try this thing. You should do it this way. Like, it'll be a distraction. And then you just might have the willpower and the foresight and the grit and the determination to say, you know what? I think this person is wrong. That may have been their case, but this is not the case for me. And so then you'll get back up on the path. But usually what we see happen, especially when people are surrounded by a lot of should leadership advice, a whole bunch of friends and colleagues, online, in person, in real time, synchronously, asynchronously, is you get permanently distracted from your goal. So as you're going up, then it's like, oh, you should go this way. Let's go this way. Let's go that way. No, let's go that other way. Let's go that other way. Let's go that other way. Oh, maybe we should go around over here. Oh, this is better. When your goal was over here. When all you really needed to do was stay on your path instead of listening to all this should advice. So really, the way to filter out the shoulds is ask yourself the question, is this on mission? Is this on mission? If I take the action that this person is going to, if I take the action that this person is suggesting, is this going to help me get there faster? Is this going to increase the chances that I'm going to get there? Get where? To your next career goal. Whatever that next career goal is. But here's the rub. You may not always know whether or not that advice is going to help you get there. Even if you have a mission, even if you have a goal. If you don't have a goal, then that's part of what's holding you back. Because you don't know what you don't even know what top of what mountain you're going for, so you're just running in circles. So that's how you filter out the shoulds. Is it on mission? Is it going to help you achieve your mission faster, more reliably, more effectively, more efficiently? That's the question to ask. And look, it's really hard to know often whether or not someone's advice is going to help keep you on mission or whether it's going to distract you. So that's why you talk to the experts. And that's why I'm going to encourage you, if this is where you're stuck, if you're stuck in a whirlwind of shoulds, getting all of this should leadership and career advice, and you cannot find the signal in the noise. You cannot filter out which shoulds to listen to, which shoulds to not. And if you were to, maybe you've realized, okay, all of this is just shoulding all over me, and I want to ignore like all of this advice, but what's the good, what do I do? How do I decide what I do? Then it's time to book a call with us, thepeoplestack.com/book. Because what we're going to do on that call is we're going to get you extreme clarity around what's not working in your career right now. We have to start there. We have to take a look in the mirror and say, okay, let's be honest. What's going on right now? What's not working? We have to assess the current situation and really get to the truth of what's currently going on. And we're also getting extremely clear on where you want to go. What is that goal? What is the tip of tech leadership central for you? What is the tip of the peak in your tech leadership career? What does that look like in all of its glory, in all of its detail? And so with that, then we can help give you that guidance and that clarity, knowing here's where I am, here's where I want to go. Then you're going to have more of a sense of what advice is good and you might want to try out, and what advice is just, that's not on mission. That's not on mission. And if we're 100% confident that we can help you get from A to B, then we're going to talk about what it would look like to work together if you want our expert advice, if you want our expert guidance, if you want experts in your corner. But it's really now is the time to get that clarity around your career so you can filter out the shoulds and know exactly what it is you want to do, what you get to do. Because at the end of the day, our life shouldn't be full of shoulds. I should do this. I should do the other thing. What we want our lives to be full of is I want to do this. I get to do this. I am privileged to do this. And I know that doing this is going to get me there. So if you want that in your career, in terms of your career decision-making, in terms of walking this path toward your dream career, if you want, I get to do this, I want to do this, I know that doing this is going to get me there, then it's time to book a call with us today, thepeoplestack.com/book. So the message of the day, folks, is be very wary of any advice that you get from friends who are not experts in helping other people, especially technical managers, to upgrade their careers. They want to help, they love you, they care about you, but they do not have the context, they do not have the expertise, they do not have the skill set to coach you through to make the decisions that are actually going to help you get you where you want to go. So be very wary of that. Make sure that you stay on mission. And if you need help clarifying what that mission is, then that's another reason to book a call with us at thepeoplestack.com/book. All right, that's it for the day, folks. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again really, really soon. Take care.